What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Faster Fitness Show. Today we talk about why most people don't follow through with their health goals. Frankie, we see this time and time again every single year, probably right around the new year, right before summer. A lot of people have all these audacious goals. Like all these people want to lose those last 10 pounds or 20, 30 pounds, whatever the goal is. They have these goals, they maybe write them down on paper, and then for whatever reason, a high percentage of people just don't follow through, they don't hit that goal. Off the top of your head, why do you think that is?
Unrealistic expectations, just based off the media and marketing that you've been fed to your whole life, right? We've been promised all these weight loss miracles, all these solutions. Try my product, it works better than this product. Try this diet, it works better than this diet, when it's all pretty much the same and none of those products work. I'll give you a hint right here, or I'll give you some insight. If there was a pill where you could lose 20 pounds fast, we would be out of business really fast.
Like right now.
And that person would be the richest person in the entire world.
100%.
There is just unrealistic expectations. You see these marketing where it's like, this Susie lost 30 pounds in our 6-week transformation program, and it builds you up. They take you on an emotional roller coaster, and then they sell you, on all these dreams and everything, and then you get into the program and realize you actually have to do some work, and then you don't get those same results that were promised to you in the beginning, and then it just becomes frustration. You stop wanting to work out, you lose that motivation, that drive, that will, and then next thing you know, you haven't worked out in 2-3 months, another ad pops up, promises you a miracle, your friend's gonna sell you these products in this program that's amazing, and check out all these results, and then you do it again, and the same thing happens again. You go on that emotional roller coaster, you come high, but then when it comes to like doing all the work and things like that, or when it comes to like stepping on the scale for check-ins, you're like, what? I ate healthy for a week and all I lost was a pound? This is stupid. This does not work, right? So people, you just have unrealistic expectations of how this works. I think one of the biggest shifts for me as a coach is not promising people certain things in the sense of, because it just depends, right? If you came to me and said, I want to lose 50 pounds, I'm probably going to be honest with you, it's probably going to take a year and a half to lose that, realistically. And when I say to lose that, like, yeah, of course we can extreme diet you, cut you could lose weight. But realistically, for you to keep it off and sustain it, it's going to take so much longer, and it's going to take work, and there's just no way around doing the work, right? There's little times when we'll have there's certain things we can do to speed the process up, but in the end, it just takes a lot of time, and people are impatient and unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, one thing out of that, 100%, we go about goal setting, right? We get people coming in for the first time through our doors here at Faster Fitness, and with the same kind of goal in mind, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever it is, but they don't really consider how long that can actually take because of these ads and because of these different programs that are out there, that all you see is that big weight loss, right? Yeah. The before and after, like, hey, I lost 90 pounds. Or on Biggest Loser, after 1 week, I just saw the episode last week and this guy lost 30 pounds. So yeah, you don't see that these people are working out like 5 times a day and they're eating nothing, right? Yeah. But here's the thing, it's when you decide for yourself, hey, health and fitness is a priority for me and I want to be a healthier and happier version of myself, what is the goal? Okay, is the goal 20 pounds, for example, because maybe that's all you can really go by, or maybe I want to fit into those pants that are behind my closet that I haven't fit to in a long time. We have to have a clear goal in mind. That's number one. I'm a big advocate for goal setting. You need to have something that's like on the line for you as far as like you know that you're going for those 20 pounds, you're going to go for those pants that you can't fit into anymore. Clear goal, and then you need to have it has to be realistic, right? Now you got to work backwards. Like, here's my thing. I always tell people that we're not shooting straight for the 20 pounds because that does require some work. It takes some time. You're not going to get there next week. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's just not going to happen. But when you are realistic about that, and then you've come to terms in your mind that, hey, this might take me several months to get to this goal, You come to terms with it. Now it's just all about putting the work, which is the second part. I think the second part where a lot of people tend to fall off, it's because this is work. It takes work. And truthfully, there's a gap of people's reality today where they want to be. And we can just go outside of fitness, not just fitness, anything in life, your career, your business, whatever it is. There's a gap. That gap is filled by how much work, consistency, how much work ethic you put into it. That is what it takes. So let's talk a little bit about the work, Frankie. Like, where do you think people fall off as far as like, there's a lot of reasons: not being consistent, not putting in the quality type of work. Like, what are your thoughts about that?
I think like with putting in the work, people, first off, a lot of people, I'd say majority versus the minority here, do too much in the beginning, right? They want to come in 4 days a week, 5 days a week. I want to be sore, and it's not working unless I'm sore. We need to be doing HIIT circuits. I need to be sweating. I need to be doing all this. And then you keep trying to, and then you fail, and then you do the same thing over in like 6 months, right? Instead of going like all in, we talk about this approach now, and I think it's the biggest shift we've made as coaches and as a gym is that sometimes less is more, right? But then sometimes we need more. So again, sometimes less is more, but sometimes we need more in the sense of when you're just starting out, if you only been in here 2-3 months, what's the minimal dosage to get the greatest result, right? Sometimes it's only 2 times a week. And I love using Courtney Shirk as an example, right? She came into this thing with realistic expectations, and we even talked about it. She was on game of, I'm gonna start out with 2 times a week. Her first month, she was consistent.
Crushed it.
2 times a week. And then with her nutrition, it was literally simple of let's meal prep a little bit, let's eat more vegetables. That was it. She crushed it. Now all of a sudden I saw her this week, we're over about we're getting closer to the 2-month mark with her starting, where she's like, I think I might hit 4 days this week, right? Or 3, and so it went from 2 days, and then I know she was trying to come 3 days, and now she's setting expectations of 4 days, but she's been doing it consistently, right? She's been slowly approaching it up too. And, I think that is why people fail, is they do too much. And then also for some people, they don't do enough, right? In the sense of, and this is a minority. These are people who have been maybe they've been going to the gym for a year, and it's time where we need to pick it up a little bit, right? There needs to be times when we need to pick it up, right? Especially if you want to lose weight, we've talked about it before, you need to make sacrifices, and then sometimes you just need to put in the work in the sense of, I need to add maybe an extra day here or there in order to get to my goal too. But I would say that second part is probably a minority of people, 20% of people that we see. But for the other 70%, it's starting out with a realistic approach. If this isn't in your lifestyle, this is just my lifestyle. I know I go on walks every morning. I do that. You see all that on social media. That's because it's my lifestyle. I've adopted that lifestyle. You probably haven't adopted this lifestyle. I used to not be like this. It was almost like a chore to get to the gym. So we need to start you off with a realistic approach. It's the same thing if you have kids, right? And they're learning a new sport or they're trying to learn something new. You don't just literally, all right, we're gonna teach you baseball 7 days a week. You're gonna go for 3 hours. We're gonna go balls to the wall. No, it's like, you start them, they practice 2 times, 3 times a week, right? And then slowly over the years, they get better and better. And then you add in like a hitting coach, a pitching coach, specialty things like that, a speed coach, right? But that doesn't all happen in the beginning.
It takes time. It takes time. And it's the approach too. We talked about the work ethic, the consistency. Less is more, but also some people, that's a minority of people that they just don't do enough, right? But what I want to kind of discuss a little bit too is the kind of approach when it comes to your mindset, when it comes to a workout routine and nutrition and whatnot. I think the reason why a lot of people do fall off is because they can't think long term when it comes to fitness. Other things too, priorities in your life, your family, career, and all that. Yeah, you can think a little more long term, but I don't know why fitness isn't up there with that too. That's your health, right? And for me, the correct approach, if we're talking about like a long-lasting, healthy lifestyle, is that habit-based approach. We preach about this all the time, where I think that when it comes to making these habits concrete, like they're just a part of your lifestyle now. You got to celebrate these little wins. These are all little milestones that you've reached, just like any other milestone in your life that you've reached in your fitness and in your health that should be celebrated because you adopted a new habit that's getting you that much closer to that goal that you wrote down. Like Frankie said, it used to be a chore to come to the gym sometimes. It used to be a chore to get these 10, 12,000 steps. But now you don't even think about it. It's like brushing your teeth. Mm-hmm. So same with you, wherever you are right now, say 20 pounds, for example, is the goal. And that goal requires you to move a little bit more, not necessarily work out more, but just move. Especially if you live a sedentary lifestyle where you sit all day at work and then you come home just to be with family, and then you get on the couch, start watching Netflix, and then you're just not moving at all. Goal number one should probably be to get up off of your office, start walking a little bit more, try to reach those 8, 10, 12,000 steps a day. And then when it has become a thing where you don't even think about it, that's a win. Mm-hmm. I think you got to celebrate that because you went from, a point in your life and in your fitness where you're not doing that, and now you don't even think about that. Now you take that same approach with the next thing that's going to help you get even closer to that goal, and then the next and the next and the next. Even though that is a little bit longer term, and a lot of clients hate us for saying that, but it is the correct way to go about it because guess what? Like all of those things, you don't even think twice about it. It doesn't feel like you're sacrificing a lot. It's just a little bit of that front end work that we're talking about that you need to put in. And then that's the new reality without even thinking about it. It's the new reality, and you just keep going to the next challenge.
Yeah, and I think too with longer term, the problem people face is like we get stuck in I need to lose this by summertime. I'm going on vacation, I'm going on this cruise by then. I need to lose 20 pounds by then. And it really, truly, honestly depends on the person. If you've been with me for a while, a little bit, is 4, 5, 6 months, and you have a vacation in 3, 4 months, I could probably get you there because the foundation's built. The foundation is built in a sense, right? Where I feel comfortable, we're possibly going on a diet, something like that. But for a majority of you, you're coming into the gym because you have that vacation coming up, but yet you have no foundation whatsoever. You really don't know how to distinguish like what macros are. You've never really heard of the 10,000 step rule. You're used to just eating certain foods that aren't helping you get to your goal. You're gonna take a lot longer, right? The nutrition advice, the things that we need to slowly bring you along, because you go from drinking coffee with creamer and sugar and having a breakfast sandwich from Starbucks every morning to thinking that you're gonna go to egg whites and vegetables and stick to that. It's unrealistic, so it depends on the person. So I think too, sometimes we set up ourselves for failure because I need to lose the weight by this point, right? Instead of coming in here, I have some of my best clients or best results we've had as clients are the people who, they're just like, I'm enough is enough, man. I need to lose like 40 pounds. I don't feel good anymore. I feel uncomfortable. I would like to go, I have a vacation. I just want to feel comfortable on it again, right? Again, the mindset is completely different because the way people talk to me, I can understand if they get it or if they're gonna need more time spent with them. Because that person who comes in here and just like, I'm sick and tired of looking this way, feeling this way. I wanna be able to like wear a bikini or a bathing suit this summer and at my vacation and feel confident. And so when they get to that vacation, maybe they didn't hit their goal completely, but they're not discouraged by the fact that, oh, maybe I didn't lose 40 pounds, but I've lost 25 pounds. I'm working out 4 or 5 times a week consistently. I'm making better food choices, right? That mindset and approach goes so much further to the fact that when they get back from vacation, they get back into that routine easily versus the person who like gets to the vacation, they're just like, I need to lose 20 pounds by summertime. And then summertime comes, they didn't lose the 20 pounds, but they were forcing themselves to come in order to try to chase that summer goal that once summer comes, they just kind of go off rails. And we've seen it so many times. We don't see them in July. We don't see them in August, September. All of a sudden, October comes around. Hey, I need to, get back in the gym, blah, 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 blah. And that process just keeps repeating and repeating. Again, I think that's a big thing. And another thing I was thinking about when you were talking is what holds people back from achieving their goals is self-comparison to themselves in the past. When I was 34 years old, I did this, this, and that, but it's like you're almost 50 now. Like trying to do the same thing that you did then isn't necessarily always the best approach, right? There's times when that's a good approach, but if you're comparing yourself, well, I want to weigh this because that's what I weighed before I had kids. It's like, man, your body's changed completely since the last time you had kids, and I think that's where a lot of people fall. Oh my God, I look at pictures. But the problem with that is, I guarantee you, if we rewound your life and we talked to you at that point, you wouldn't have thought that you look great at that point. You would have literally been like, oh, I probably could lose 10 pounds. I need to do this and that. And then all of a sudden we fast forward to now and you look back on these pictures and you're praising it, even though probably in that moment of time, you thought that you were overweight, that you needed to lose weight. And I think that's a big thing that holds people back is, I was this weight then, or I'm gonna try what I did 5 years ago to lose weight. And it's like, well, you had 2 kids in the last 5 years. Your body's completely different. You might change, or the guy that comes in, man, I wanna look like I did when I was 28. And it's like, yeah, well, you also didn't work, 50 hours a week, have a full-time family, and do all these sports obligations at that time. You could go to the gym whenever you wanted, you were in college then. And so that's a big thing that holds people back is self-comparison to themselves in the past, right? If I always, for us, if we just look back, oh my God, I want to look like I did when I was in high school.
And it's like we're training 3 times a day, like in high school, because we had all the time in the world.
It's also, we didn't have a business, you didn't have relationships, you didn't have other obligations, your obligation was to be a student and an athlete, right? And man, we would crush ourselves if we compared to that time in life, you know, so.
And kind of going off of that, I think that is a really, really big reason why a lot of people don't succeed when it comes to their goals is because, especially like we've talked about it in previous episodes, that when people walk in here for the first time, they try a class for the first time, they see people just crushing it in here, but little do they know that those people have been here for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, So it's kind of silly to compare yourself. And don't get me wrong, I completely understand why people do this because, first off, I know it's very intimidating going into any type of gym in this setting, especially if you've never been into one. I can understand how it is intimidating. And then when you walk in here and then see people just crushing the workouts, like they understand all the lingo, they get, where to go next, and you're just kind of confused, and then it feels, you kind of feel bad about the whole situation. But the thing is, like, you got to remember, and what I tell all newcomers that come in here, you're in here because of you. You're not in here because of, Bernadette, who's been here for like 5 years and just absolutely crushing it. There's no way you can compare yourself to somebody like that because they've been doing it for 5 years. That foundation has been plenty built already.
Consistent,
or
too.
Very consistent. The way you should actually think about it, and this is all mindset. This is all a mindset thing. The way you should actually think about that, it's like, I can't wait until I get to be like that. Not thinking that I'm not there yet, or like I could never be like that, which leads me to the other example of why people don't reach their goals is the kind of words that you're using to yourself. When you think about it, you are the person that speaks the most to yourself on a daily basis. All the thoughts that are running in your head that you consistently talk to yourself. I talk to myself a lot, actually, when I have a lot to think about. I think about my business, my relationships, my friendships. Like, I think about a lot of different things, but the words that you're using, I think, are so powerful because they can be positive, and the majority of people that I know, they're usually negative, meaning that, when it comes to their health and fitness, some of these negative approaches, it's tough when you try to get on this healthy journey where you're trying to do positive things for yourself when knowing that it is a stressful thing, right? It is stressful to get there because it takes work, it's discipline, all that.
Changing your identity.
You're changing yourself, but then you're trying to do such a big task and also involving negative terminology, negative words on a daily basis. How hard is that?
Yeah.
That is very difficult to do, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I get clients that have been with me for a while, and they'll like send me, oh my God, I looked at a picture of myself, like, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe I let myself gain 10 pounds back. And I'm like, I'm like, dude, like if you keep, with that negative attitude, you're not gonna change anything. I'm like, who cares? It happened. You gained the 10 pounds back. What are we gonna do now to move you forward to get there? Quit thinking of this like, oh my God, I'm so pissed at myself for doing this. Fuck, it happened, dude. It's like sometimes when I'm like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep crying about it, or are you gonna make the change? Because you feeling upset about it and you having a pity party about it, not that I don't have sympathy for you, but what are we gonna do to move forward? I'm constantly trying to move forward. We're always trying to move forward, move forward, move forward. If we keep looking backwards, you're gonna get stuck in the back, right? No, we wanna move forward, move forward. What can I do now? Yeah, you gained the 10 pounds. What can I do next? All right. Are you meal prepping? Are you going to sleep at a decent hour? Are you drinking enough water? Are you eating in more than you eat out? Are you drinking all Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Because if you're not doing just those 5 things where you're reducing alcohol consumption, you're meal prepping, you're eating more protein and vegetables, you're eating out less, then there's nothing that we can inherently do today that's going to make any type of change. Those things are gonna have the biggest change. And also, realizing that you probably put that 10 pounds on over the last 3, 4, 5 months just because you did 1 week of meal prepping and not eating out and only drinking once a week and going to bed and drinking water. That's not going to change anything. Do that. Why don't you do that for 3, 4, 5 months, and then all of a sudden you'll see what happens, right? So we need to quit, having these pity parties. I always tell people, you fuck up, move on. Right? Like, what else are you gonna do? Are you gonna just sit there and cry about it and just be upset? Because all that's gonna do for you is it's gonna lower your motivation to go to the gym. It's going to put you in that negative mindset where you don't even wanna go to the gym because you start telling yourself, well, I don't look that good. I don't want people staring at me. And then it's just gonna put you in a further spiral down, and then all of a sudden you stop coming to the gym, and then it's 6 months later and you've gained another 10 pounds, right? And then it's that constant just beating ourselves up for when way back we could have just said, all right, I messed up. I need to go, like, I know what I need to do now. I need to do X, Y, and Z consistently, right? And then after 2 or 3 months, reevaluate and see what happens too.
I mean, this is a tough journey, like I mentioned, especially when we take negative approaches to it where, we want it so fast. We talk negatively about our situation, our work not being good enough, or whatever the case may be. So trust me, I have complete sympathy for as far as your situation goes, but at the end of the day, this does require work. And I think the one question that you should be asking yourself is this worth it? Because I guarantee, and more deeper than that, are you worth it? Because if the answer to that is yes, now you are in a different headspace where, hey, I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for anyone else. I am worth it. I know I deserve better. I want to feel better. So because of that, I'm gonna start doing X, Y, Z. Again, for me, it's all wording. I think on personal experience, anytime something negative happens, because obviously it's inevitable that it will. I've had plenty of bad things happen to me, both in gym setting, business setting, whatever the case may be. But the one thing that I do not allow myself to do is to live in that space, because I've done it before, and more bad things happen when you live in a negative space like that, where your head's always in the negative. It's like, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe this happened to me. Why is this happening to me? Hey, that happens to everybody. The reason why people bounce back is because they know that this is not gonna last forever. Pain is temporary in any sense of that phrase there. So get out of there and start doing these positive things for yourself, because I know for a fact, not a single person that I've ever met says, I regret working out, or I regret, losing those 5 pounds, 10, but because those are all positive things that lead you in the right direction. Yeah. So, I think this is our take on why a lot of people don't reach their goals. And we're trying to bring this to light so that you can see how other people, because we've trained and seen close to thousands of people now, kind of in every single way, shape, or form, as far as why they don't reach it. So we're just trying to bring light to it as far as for you and your goals, whatever that is. We don't want you to make these mistakes. We want you to keep moving forward, like Frankie's saying, like we're always trying to move forward in a more positive light and being a healthier and happier version of ourselves. So any final thoughts on this?
I think just when you get into the negative mind space, the 5-minute rule, apply that. Take 5 minutes, be upset with yourself, be sad about the situation. But after that 5 minutes is over, it's time to move forward and keep going ahead. And that's the best advice I can give you with the mindset thing is it's okay. We all have bad times and we all have negative times, but take your time, be upset real quick, and then kind of close that book off. And let's open the next book to move you forward to.
Yep. Well, thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Faster Fitness Show. We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.